Hello, Mark Red Larson here for the Dreamcatcher podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today, my guest is Matt Cranson. Welcome, Matt.
Hello. Yep.
So how are you doing today?
Pretty good.
So, we're at your store, which is an amazing store. So, what is the name of your store, and how'd you get this name?
So we are at our new location in downtown Hastings, Nebraska, small town famous, and we are in our third location now here in Hastings, and
Really?
just moved into this one in October.
So you were here already?
Yeah.
Where were you at before?
So first in Denver, across from the train depot originally. Well, originally in the basement of our house, and then first in Denver by the train depot in downtown Hastings, and then just 2 doors down to the west of us.
Oh, I do remember that down there. Yes.
And then we moved into this 3-story building in October.
So what? Had you had your eye on this place, this building, this amazingly huge building?
Yep. So we'll probably get into the history a little bit, but when I met my wife, she was, like I said, living in Omaha, and she was selling apparel out of the basement of her rental house. And we moved to Hastings, wanted to get out of our house as we started having a family, and kind of production facility, and people were asking and trying to figure out what we were doing until we were making t-shirts. So we kind of started morphing into a retail store. Outgrew that space on the corner there, moved into our 4,000 square foot location next door. We're there for about 4 years, and then in October we moved into this after we renovated it. And so this building here is about 28,000 square foot, and we have about 17 or 18,000 square feet of retail space, so.
Which is a lot.
Yep.
I mean, and for everybody even close by, come visit the store. It is amazing. So a little bit of background. You're from Colorado originally.
Grew up in Brush, Colorado, northeastern part of the state, so nowhere close to the mountains.
That's too bad.
So didn't go skiing. The first time I ever went skiing was my senior year of high school, and then
really
started doing that about every year through college and into my career. But grew up in Colorado, went to the University of Northern Colorado, marketing degree.
Okay, cool.
Lived in Greeley, and then I managed Target right out of college. I was a manager for Target for 9 years at like 4 different locations.
Oh, wow.
And got a lot of retail experience, and then wanted to get out of retail. Got sick of the weekends, the long hours.
That I can believe.
And kind of as fate would have it, met Jackie, moved to Hastings, worked at a manufacturing plant here in town, Flowserve, for about 2 years as a project manager.
Okay.
And then Jackie wanted to grow this business, and I said, well, I think you need some help. So I quit corporate America and jumped into this, and we've been doing this for, 9 years in October. So
time flies when you're having fun.
Yep, that's right. So I'm back in the retail, but it's a little bit different working for myself.
I would think so.
With my wife, especially, then.
I mean, and you've made it such a fun space. I mean, it's just fun.
Yep. So we've got screen printing and embroidery. That's kind of our, I say, our bread and butter. That's what we do the majority of the stuff. With that, then we've got 2 levels of retail shopping, and then we're up on our mezzanine right now, where it's kind of a ice cream and coffee shop. So it's I can't even explain it. I'm looking right at the table with the ice cream cones and everything like that. So definitely doesn't feel like a lot of people say it doesn't feel like you're in the middle of Nebraska, Hastings, Nebraska. It feels like you're in a big city, Chicago, Denver,
which is nice, because sometimes it is nice. I mean, and I like traveling, but there's so many people that have never really traveled out of central Nebraska, and it kind of expands their horizons just a little bit. Yep. So did you have a vision of this when you started?
Not really. So kind of the history of how it got started. My wife, Jackie, she had just graduated law school, passed the bar exam, and after about 6 months, quickly realized she didn't want to be an attorney the rest of her life. And so now she's a non-practicing attorney, and was actually living in a friend's mom's basement when she was actually her friend's little sister came home from the volleyball tournament and just bought a bunch of apparel. And thought, well, I could do this. I'm going to start doing this, and roped up a bunch of her single, just out of college teacher friends in Omaha, and with youth sports and the tournaments, softball, volleyball, soccer. She started traveling around kind of all over the Midwest, selling apparel, and at the time headbands were really popular, and selling at youth sporting tournaments, just kind of little pop-up shops.
Wow.
And she was able to pay off all her student loans from law school.
Oh, that's really good.
In about 2 years from
really fast too.
Selling t-shirts. And then when we moved here, we wanted to get it out of the basement, and yeah, it's kind of just morphed into what it is now. So
yeah, it's morphed into a lot of
Yeah.
things. It is very much so. So you have kids.
yep. So I've got 3 older boys that
Oh, wow.
live in Colorado.
Okay.
I got
Okay.
a 17, 15, and a 13-year-old. And then Jackie and I have a 8 and a 6-year-old. So
Wow.
they are in 1st and 2nd grade right now. So
I don't know when you sleep. Oh my gosh.
I always tell people when I worked at Target, we used to joke, a buddy of mine, we'd say we sell toilet paper and paper towels, and now it's like I sell t-shirts, print t-shirts. It's not that hard. So
I can see that mindset, that thinking.
Yeah.
So that's for sure. So okay, you work for Target. I mean, when you were, this is Dreamcatcher podcast. I always ask, what were your dreams when you were growing up? Is it to be in retail?
No, when I was growing up, I always wanted to be a professional athlete, love sports.
Really?
Today's opening day for baseball. So
Yeah.
love baseball. Realized after high school, there wasn't much of a career in the athletic field with my abilities. So I started umpiring baseball.
Okay.
As kind of a college. Actually, I started in 8th grade umpiring, but in college as a part-time gig, and actually went to professional umpire school to try and be a professional umpire.
Wow.
Did that. Kind of did the circuit for about a year, trying to work my way up, and then ended up doing a lot of high school and college umpiring, and then got into retail. Target offered me a job after an internship with them, and I remember in college I have a marketing degree. I remember doing my big project on a sports retail store. That's what I thought would be cool to do, would have my own retail store. And so yeah, here we are now, and I have no idea where that computer's at, or the paper is that I typed in college. It'd be really cool I've always thought to find it and
It would be.
see how that adds up to the finances and the expenses of 20 years ago, 25 years ago now. So
you never know where life's going to take you with anything.
Yeah.
So marketing's cool too. I remember I went to school for Kearney, and the gal, I was marketing class, and she brought in kind of a low end beer and then a Michelob. And she's like, why do you think that one's better than this one? It's like, I'm going to like this class. She's bringing beer on the first day.
Yep.
And it is. Everything's marketing, including yourself.
Yep.
So
yeah, I remember I thought I was going to be an accounting major. I always liked accounting in high school. And then my sophomore year, I took the first advanced accounting class, and I got my first test results back. And I was like, I'm going to switch majors before it's too late for the semester.
I would be that way at the accounting too. I mean, accounting necessary too, but oh my gosh.
I meet Jackie, and she's got her accounting degree and her law degree, so she's a little more book savvy than I.
She's very much that mindset.
Yeah.
There. So wow, I am not. I would rather do what you're doing here. I mean, the getting the tables, getting your chairs that I saw over there, and so where do you find that stuff?
Like I said, I don't know. Before we started, Jackie's on her phone a lot, just searching new trends, trying to stay ahead of the curve. Living in middle America and Hastings, Nebraska, having bringing even new trends here people see online or whatnot, and it's maybe not the cool thing or the in thing because it's not available, or
right.
And just kind of staying ahead of that. Like now, for instance, 15 years ago when she started, just kids just sweatpants with big print down the legs were kind of in style, and now that they've been out since I met her pretty much, and we just kind of reintroduced them last weekend, actually out in Ogallala at a volleyball camp.
Okay.
And they were a hot seller, so we printed more yesterday. And so joggers kind of back in a simple thing that kids want to buy. And said my older boys, I don't know if they even own a pair of pants, but kids, I've
got it with them. I mean, most of the time I like shorts.
My brother's a high school principal. They don't wear suit and ties very often anymore. It's polo and jeans or polo and khakis, and
extremely true.
Middle school, elementary kids are gym shorts and t-shirts or sweatpants and hoodies all the time. So we kind of fill that niche with the
hoodies are good. I got quite a few of those too. So how do you find trends? How do you keep ahead of trends so you know what to buy for the store?
Ask our employees, kids, see what the kids are wearing. Go to these
hands-on research.
Ask the babysitter.
That works.
Yeah.
No. So any trend coming up that you'd like to share?
Not that I can think of. I mean, that'd be a Jackie question. She's getting the kids out the door this morning and doing all the things. So she's always going 100 miles an hour. So she told me last night she's going to Texas to buy some M&M, those big life-size M&M displays that she found a candy store was selling off. So we got a bulk candy store upstairs. So she's going to get some life-size M&M display pieces.
Perfect. So M&Ms are good. And so we're out in Texas. I lived in Dallas a little while out of college.
don't remember, Johnson, Texas. It's like an hour south of Austin. So
I was way down there. Okay.
So I've never been to Austin. So
I haven't either. I hear good things about Austin, though.
Sounds like a road trip. When we were renovating this building, we had an exchange student we hosted for a year from Germany. So we took him to Vegas, Chicago, Orlando, Kansas City, Denver.
Whoa.
So gave him a good tour of America and going to pick up, used equipment. The ice cream machine's right over here. We bought used from a TCBY that had closed down like the day before was their last day of business. That closed down and right outside of Chicago. And so rented a trailer, loaded up the U-Haul in the back of my truck, and brought those 2 pieces of equipment back.
They look really good. I mean, they look like brand new.
Yeah, definitely. I think well taken care of. We had to service them to get them fired back up, but after they sat in our garage and storage unit for about a little over a year. But
no, they look really good. So how many people do you employ here?
We got about equivalent to 7 full-time employees.
That's quite a few people.
A few part-time people, but
so where do you see this in like 5 years? Where would you like to see it?
I don't think we'll obviously be going anywhere with the space we have now, but up here on our mezzanine, that's kind of been the thing that we've jumped into. That we had Jackie had some experience in restaurants all through college and law school. I worked at a few restaurants growing up, and trying to kind of figure out our niche. So we've repainted up here twice already now. One a cafe to now more of just an ice cream parlor. As you can tell from all the painting and seating over here, but
it's fun.
Definitely growing this niche of kind of bakery ice cream up here, and then just continue to really expand on our screen printing and embroidery. So like I always tell people now, we have 2 embroidery heads is all. But I know there's businesses out there, one in Colorado where I'm from, where they have 24, 26 embroidery machines. I know there's places in Omaha that have that many. So
you can get, I know you said we already talked how good coffee is. So you can get coffee here, and you have baked goods in too?
Yes, we just have regular potted coffees, a couple different flavors. And then we've got the vanilla and chocolate soft serve. And then we just introduced a couple weeks ago the Dole.
Which is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
so that is so good.
Started selling that. So we've got 4 flavors of that. Well, actually, I think there's about 8 flavors. So, but we got capacity to have 4 flavors on tap, I guess you could call it at once.
Okay.
We've got a new baker lady that's going to start her own baking kind of pastry business that she has a small family and wanted to.
That sounds great.
Be able to just get out of the house and be able to still bake, but kind of do it more as a leisure working for us and kind of promote what she's capable of doing. So it's kind of a
win-win there.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great.
So she's starting on Monday. I just met her yesterday. She came in, but she'll be starting Monday. So
perfect. So
cakes, pastry items. We were even talking about figuring out how to do some like ice cream cakes. So
yeah, that would be good too.
I kind of told the sky's the limit. It's kind of an untapped market for us. So
no, I mean this is just. So how did you small town famous? How did you come up with that name?
I don't know when we. So originally we're. BAD Sportz is the original name, and
really our
trade name. So BAD Sportz is what Jackie started, and sports is with a Z at the end, and so the BAD starts for acronym for Believe, Achieve, Dominate. So
I like it.
BAD Sportz, and then when we kind of started the retail store, we were like Game Day and the Nebraska shop and things like that. And we don't want it to be all athletically driven. We don't want it to be tied just to Nebraska. We do like a lot of screen printing outside of Nebraska.
Okay.
And I don't know how we settled on small town famous, but we did.
So you have a gigantic sign saying that out in front of your store. How did you come up with the idea of that size and then the word, like it's sitting right on the sidewalk?
Yeah.
How did you come up with that idea, which is cool?
So we wanted to get a sign, and we didn't want up on the building, but then our architect actually kind of presented it to us and said, hey, these would be really cool. And my wife at the time was running for mayor and was on the planning and zoning commission.
Okay.
Somehow they got on the topic, I think, of just like the signs coming into Hastings and like revitalizing those and updating them from the 80s with just the brick and kind of monotone colors and something fun. And we were in Tampa on vacation.
Oh, Tampa's awesome.
And Miami, Playa del Carmen. They have all these locations with big, huge letters that people just kind of photo op, I guess. And
Yep.
so she started looking into that, and our architect's like, yeah, this would be feasible. And so we went through all the loopholes with the city and getting that approved. And it's been a big topic of conversation.
Well, is there such thing as bad publicity?
No,
I mean,
as I could tell people as a marketing major, if it gets people talking, it definitely brings people in. And we've got a lot of people from out of state that, are people that grew up here. There's a lady in here yesterday that lives actually in Denver that hadn't been back in a couple of years, and she saw the sign and she's like, I had to stop and see what in the world.
Yeah.
And then they walk in here and they're like, wow.
Me too. First time I walked in here, is like, wow, because I remember what this building used to be.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But no, that sign, and downtown Hastings, I love the vibe anyway.
Yeah.
So
some people will say we ruin the ambiance of downtown, but there's not a lot of ambiancers. So we're just trying to revitalize it and make it a fun place to come and, welcoming. And
it is welcoming. And I don't understand their thinking. I mean, I think you're kind of bringing it into the 21st century, because there's so many, I think Kearney struggles with that a lot, which is a neighboring town.
Yeah.
With their downtown, I don't care for their vibe. Hastings, I mean,
North Platte's one. We've been to North Platte. Obviously.
Really?
They have a really cool downtown.
Do they? Never
revitalize that. But and me being from Colorado and living on the Front Range, I always say that I mean, Hastings sometimes I feel like it's 50 years behind the times. So
yeah,
you go to the Front Range, and I don't think I could live there again with all the people. And
yes, there are a few.
Hastings will ever.
You need to get it like downtown Fort Collins.
Yeah,
I like old. I love.
My brother and mom live in Fort Collins now, and definitely
awesome.
a cool vibe. And
yes,
college town like we are here, obviously on a smaller scale, but definitely just trying to draw people downtown, and it not only obviously benefits us, but all the businesses, the great businesses we have downtown and restaurants. So.
Yeah, and Hastings College is an amazing college. It brings in. I talk to so many people that are drawn to Hastings College that are from out of town quite a ways.
Yeah, it was funny. Yesterday I hired the Hastings College wrestling team to come move a couple of these big heavy bookcases up to the third floor for us. Obviously, they won't fit in the elevator, and so a bunch of 18 to 22-year-old guys that some of them had never even been downtown. They said, and when they came in here, they were pretty shocked and awed. And a few of them bought a couple things after they helped us.
Awesome.
And then 3 or 4 of them I actually saw come back yesterday afternoon to get ice cream and buy some of the.
So that was really a great deal for everybody.
So that again got Jackie and I talking like, man, we really need to talk to the people at Hastings College that we print for and
do a collaboration or something with them, because they are awesome.
Have like a college night or something, and invite them down to shop and show off all that.
It is. And I mean, it's amazing how many people, well, like you said, they hadn't been downtown. I'm amazed how many people was like, well, Hastings is kind of boring, but they haven't been here for years.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you make that judgment when you haven't even been there?
Yeah, we actually had, so Colleen Williams.
Yes, I know her. Yes.
She came in and did a live video, Facebook Live with us.
She's awesome.
I think we had about 172,000 views.
I can believe that with her, yes.
And we had people from, there's a group of like 4 ladies from Lenexa, Kansas that drove all the way here just to see our shop.
Wow.
One week, that same weekend, there's, a group from Minden and Lexington, I think, came.
North
Platte. A lot of the towns just south of the Kansas border. From us came. So we've had.
That's the nice thing about where she has name them. People know her.
Yeah.
And then social media. I mean, this goes out to the world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
When I had people tell me they drove 4+ hours to come see us, I was like, all right, it's definitely worth it. I feel like
it is. Yeah. And I always tell people, it's like, because I was telling you before, I was a handyman before this, and I started the podcast over 4 years ago, and I guarantee I was not thinking I was ever going to do a podcast.
Yeah.
But it's just like, well, it's probably so hard to start. It's like, well, you're never going to know if you don't start, and do it because you could make a difference, because it goes out to the world. I mean, with all the social media and YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where most people take my podcast in. I think I told you that one day that India, of all things, is the #1 country, which is surprising to me. And, but yeah, people, I think, and that's one thing in central Nebraska, maybe Nebraska in general, maybe not so much eastern side, they are visioned, that this is the way it is and this is the way it's always going to be.
Yeah.
And, I think I know you're kind of trying to change that mindset, especially in central Nebraska. And so do you ever envision going to another town with one of these? Or I would love you to come to Minden. I mean,
we went to Grand Island for a short time.
Did you? Okay.
but yeah, trying to manage that store and a location here, and transferring product back and forth, and being a small family owned business was tough, and a lot of other external factors. But yeah, and then when we bought this building and started renovating it, we were like, we got to go. We'll go all in Hastings. And
how long did it take you to renovate this?
It was the demo crew came in almost 2 years ago now, and they spent about 3 months kind of demoing it, and then I was over the summer months, and then in January, I think it was like January 4th of 2024, they started and got done, and we were moved in here at the beginning of October.
Okay, that's
so about right at 10 months.
Probably didn't seem longer than that. Or not too bad.
Not too bad. It went pretty quick. Cardinal Construction out of Doniphan, they did our general contractor and all the local subcontractors that did all the work for us. So Jackie and I sanded the.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
There's Jackie.
Hi, Jackie. Good.
We sanded the 150. This building's 150 years old. It was built in 1875, and we after they got all the tile and carpet off upstairs and down here, and got all the glue and stuff off, that was our summer projects and our contribution.
I know adhesive can be and all that can be tough to get off.
Yeah, so we learned renting sanders and figuring out getting the lower grit, so the bigger, chunkier sandpaper, we were able to strip it off pretty easily. It was about a 8-day project on the third floor, getting all that off and getting it to how she liked it, and then another week or so down here. But
beautiful floors. Yeah, it definitely is. So I feel like you could really be a handyman.
I always tell Jackie, I'm actually the only guy that works here, so I'm kind of the handyman. But I always tell Jackie, I said I need the right tools to succeed or to be successful. So
true, tools make all the difference in whatever you're doing.
Jeb, our next door neighbor and insurance agent, he's got a lot of tools he spares me, and then I call a lot of friends. My in-laws are
hey, that's all you call everybody in. Yes.
Now that they're retired, they're able to help out a lot, and we definitely won't be able to do this without the in-laws. So. Yeah.
No, and I mean, and look what you got now. I mean, this bringing an old building back to.
Yeah. It's sat empty for just almost 10 years, I believe.
Really, that long?
Yep.
Ooh, wow. How was the roof then? Was it?
I never saw it, but it's an all new roof.
Had it been leaking in that time period?
Along the back wall, here, on the south wall, quite a bit of water damage, and actually, if you go upstairs, there's some new underneath the tile we put up, new subfloor because it was all just kind of rotted out, and they had to.
There's a lot. When any building sits at all, it doesn't take long for things to start.
Yeah, it was really cool coming in here. I remember the first time I ever came in here. It's crazy. It was a Dollar General on the main floor, but then up here,
I forgot about that.
Used to be a Schweizer's and a Schweizer's before that, and then the building's called the Woolbach building. So it was Woolbach, and then the Woolbach Brock and Brock Thompson, and then they sold it to Schweizer's in the 60s. So we got the city gave us the hand drawn architectural plans from Schweizer's from the 60s, and they remodeled.
Okay.
But yeah, on this level, the mezzanine, and then the third floor, it was literally other than clearing out the fixtures, they literally just walked away out of the building. Wow. The carpet and the decor on the walls and stuff was all up. It was almost eerie. The walls could talk.
Yeah,
it would be really cool to.
It's this building. What year was it built?
1875.
Wow, it's seen a lot of it. Yeah. It's seen a lot.
Yeah, so. Some of the storage rooms upstairs, we have some of the. Probably the original wallpaper still hanging on underneath the plaster and stuff that we tore off.
Wow, that'd be cool. Yeah. That'd really be cool. So, gosh, I love that. So, okay, do you have other dreams you still haven't done yet?
No, I don't know.
Maybe not enough time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you have time.
I don't know what the future holds. Keep doing this. I give my kids a hard time all the time. Hey, you want to. After high school, go to college, or go to community college for a couple of years and come help manage the business.
There you go.
But they don't think that's a very good idea. I think working with dad's not a.
Maybe eventually they might. I know at that age, it's just I don't. You want to get out and kind of spread your wings. But I
think just continue to grow the screen printing and the embroidery operation. I think is kind of my dream, I guess, or my goal is. Continue to dream that and employ more people and
cool. So the screen printing, was that something you always wanted to do, or why did you get into that?
So like I said, Jackie just was doing the apparel sales at the youth tournaments when she started. And she's in Omaha. She had a couple of printers in Lincoln and Omaha that screen printed for her. And then her sister actually lived in Phoenix.
Oh, wow.
And worked for PayPal.
Okay.
And she actually, I don't know how, she convinced her sister to move back to Omaha and started screen printing. So her sister got a little warehouse and started screen printing for her. She did that for, gosh, I don't even know, 3 or 4 years, I think. And then it kind of got like when we had a store in Grand Island, it got to be, we'd have to, put in our order with her, and then we'd have to meet her or drive all the way to Omaha to pick up our apparel. And it just kind of got to be a time crunch. And we bought we bought our first ever screen printing press used from a guy in Wisconsin.
Okay.
And bought that, used it for a few years, and then bought a new manual press. And then after about 6 years, I think it was 4 or 5, 6 years, I don't even know what it was, we bought an automatic press.
Okay.
And then when we moved in here, we bought a second auto. So we now have 2 automatic screen printing presses, which gives us the capabilities to print between 300 and 600 shirts an hour.
An hour? Wow. Okay. So people can get a hold of you. How? And do you do it around the world or locally? Or
Online, we do a lot of stuff kind of all over the U.S. If we do fundraisers or contacts that we've just met of people mainly in Nebraska, but with my contacts in Colorado, Missouri, Iowa, Wisconsin, Ohio.
Okay.
There's different businesses and contacts we've had, but mainly now just kind of Nebraska, Iowa, Colorado. Shields is one of the big.
Oh, really? I would think that would be, yes.
Retail stores we printed for the Lincoln Shields.
Nice.
Some of our designs, and
I gotta go to, when I see that next time, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, Shields is one of the stores that Jackie and I, my boys love, my older kids love, and
it's a good store.
Kind of been an inspiration to us too, just like seeing what they've become and having multi levels of shopping. And
oh yeah. So do you have a website that people can? Do you sell like iphones from here on the website, or just or directly just for the screen printing?
Since we moved in here, yeah. Shopstf.com is our website.
Okay.
And then that's kind of like I was saying, the ice cream is kind of an untapped market. I mean, our online retail is definitely a huge untapped market as well, because we have a lot of items that we carry that you can only find in bulk, and so we buy the bulk stuff and sell it. And people will contact us, say, "Oh, I see you sell this candy, or I see you sell these baby items that I need to buy a case of them or whatever. What's your retail or your wholesale price?" And we're like, "Oh, we actually buy it wholesale to sell retail. We don't have pallets of it in warehouse that we sell." So,
would you ever do your own product line?
I mean, that'd be something too. I mean, there's a lot of like there's some couple baseball companies that baseballism and baseball lifestyle that are strictly baseball that we've talked about. Yeah, that would be cool to like kind of get our own product line for like a different sport.
I could see you doing that.
The state of Nebraska stuff that we sell, and really ramping that up and getting it online. And we sold for those people in Nebraska or follow college football back in, was it 2016 when Nebraska hired Coach Frost?
Mm-hmm.
We Jackie jokingly made a shirt about Scott Frost. It said Devaney, Osborne, some other guys, Frost. And we kind of as a joke started printing those and selling them. And then it kind of blew up, and we ended up selling about 10,000 of those T-shirts.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
A 2-week time frame.
Really nice.
I had a buddy from Omaha that came and helped me. I had a couple friends here in Hastings that came and helped, and we literally were nonstop for about 2 weeks straight.
I bet.
Printing, sorting.
That's a terrible problem to have.
Shipping orders. But yeah, the Scott Frost experiment didn't work out for us at the university. But
you never know.
We talked to the families of Osborne's, who's actually from Hastings, and then Devaney's son that lived down in Arizona.
Uh-huh.
And, Coach Frost's assistant or manager, secretary, he kind of gave us approval for all the families. So we ended up donating money to the Teammates Mentoring Program.
Love that.
And all Devaney's family wanted was shirts for the family for Christmas. Cool. And then Coach Frost's secretary, he just said, "Don't even worry about it." He was a new hire at the time. He's like, "No, he's got other things to worry about."
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was a lot of shirts we sold. So that's definitely our number one seller of all time.
That's awesome
to date. But
So do you do a lot of collaborations and do stuff? I mean,
We did that, and then we did Lindsay Krause on the Nebraska volleyball team a few years
Okay.
ago. We had an NIL deal kind of when that was starting out with her, and with injuries with her and like trying to keep up with social media and stuff, that never really panned out. But she came down here and we had a good showing of support at our other location next door, and she signed autographs for all the kids and fans that
cool,
came.
very cool.
Got her paid to come help promote the business. So that was a lot of fun, and trying to maybe work something out again with some of the athletes at the university again.
Perfect. I mean, that is so good. So I have to ask, you grew up in Greeley. So what part of my in-laws, my wife actually grew up in Greeley. What part of Greeley?
I grew up in Brush.
Oh, Brush. Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, I grew up in Brush, the beat diggers.
Yeah, that's true. Because you go through Brush when you,
Yep. And then, I lived in Greeley for 15 years. So I lived, put out in West Greeley. So I remember as a kid, 35th Avenue was kind of the edge of town, Greeley West High School, where my brother.
Yep, that's where my wife went to high school.
Okay,
so
yeah, so now my boys, they go to Northridge, which is clear on the northwest end.
wow, really? I mean, because my in-laws were way out west off 10th.
Yeah.
And I mean, when they built their house, I mean, you could see everything, and then it wasn't long, and it's just all that. It's like Windsor. My gosh, Windsor, all that. It's just growing so much.
I remember as a kid, Greeley was 60,000. Even I think when I started college, it was about 60,000 people, and now it's about 120,000.
I can
so it's
believe
doubled
that.
in 20 years.
And they're getting a pretty neat downtown.
Yeah.
That has come a long ways. So, but no, I mean, just social media. Where can people find you on social media?
Yeah. Our Facebook page is kind of our main thing right now. Just Small Town Famous, and then like we have an Instagram, we have a TikTok.
Cool.
But trying to keep up with all that. That's literally,
I
think, the full time.
It can be very much
to do it the way it needs to be done. So that's areas too we kind of can dabble in, and Untapped as well, as far as I think we have between 10 and 11,000 followers on Facebook, but
awesome.
Definitely room to.
So you're gonna start getting paid, because I got 26, and after 10,000 I start paying you.
I haven't seen the check.
I got one, and it's like, because the bank's like, what's this for? It's like, I don't know. I'll take it. But then Facebook's like, I'm a Facebook professional. And it said after 10,000, you start getting paid.
Oh.
And it's like, it's not, I guess it was like $148, but it's like, I will take it. But I didn't know Facebook even did that.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
It is. So anyway, money can come in. That's a good thing. So,
yeah.
So going back to the sports thing, that dream. Would there be a way you could make that dream kind of still come true?
No, I mean, I was telling somebody the other day, actually at the bank, about me going to umpire school, and I was 21 when I did that.
Okay.
They definitely, it's changed a lot in the 20 years since I went down to school in Florida. But they definitely want the 18 to 21 year olds, and kind of get the
ageism though.
Get the raw talent. They'd still take my money to go back to school.
I'm sure they would. Yeah,
they're not going to hire me. It's obviously a tough profession to get into, and now married and 5 kids.
Yeah, that's true.
Being on the road and making.
So where would you go to? Where did you go to school for that? Or where would
it's called the Harry Wendelstedt Professional Umpire School. So Harry Wendelstedt was a longtime National League umpire, and at the time there's him and Jim Evans had the 2 umpire schools in Florida.
In Florida, okay.
It was a 6-week long course, and then they would take, when I went, it was the top 25 umpires they took to an advanced 3-day kind of trial, and then
nice.
They would, based on how many positions Major League Baseball and minor league baseball had, they would hire you from that that camp. So I finished 29th out of, I think, 188 students that year.
Wow.
So I was on the reserve list. So I did
awesome.
a summer collegiate league in the Midwest. In Canada, I traveled for the entire summer from city to city with a.
Would you like that?
It was a lot of fun.
I was going to say, I would think it would be awesome.
Yeah.
So talking about travel, I know you talked about Tampa, which I like, Clearwater. I love. So evidently, when you have time, you can travel. I mean, where are some places you traveled you loved, or would go back to? Definitely.
I mean, I like going back to Colorado. Just
me too. Yeah.
See my kids and
Colorado's awesome.
Family there, and then I like the warm. I like the snow when it snows a lot, but I hate the like what we had last week where it's all mushy and dirty and
it is. It's terrible.
Fast, but we've gone. We actually took we were able to take 4 of our full-time employees. We took them to Disney World at the beginning of February. So
Oh, good time to do it too. Yes.
Yeah, went to Orlando, so that's always fun going to Florida.
Florida's awesome. I love Florida.
I like Vegas.
I do like Vegas. Yes. And I don't even gamble, but there's so many other ways for them to take your money out there.
Anywhere, Jackie always gets mad everywhere we go. I have to look up and say, well, is there a game going on? What pro sports teams there? Hey, it's only.
That's your passion. So yeah.
I love going to sporting events. It'd be cool to one day say I've gone to every major league stadium, but I think I've only been to about 14 of them so far.
You better get going on that goal.
Right. These teams, Oakland's moving to Vegas.
Vegas is such a big city. My gosh.
Who knows? Tampa. I've been to Tampa twice to the games there, but they're playing in Yankees minor league stadium this year, so I don't know if they're going to be finding a new home outside of Florida, what they're doing, but.
No, and that Tampa, St. Petersburg there, my wife and I were down there a couple of winters ago, down to Clearwater, actually with Sand Keys.
Yeah.
The whitest beaches I've ever seen. It was like flour. I mean, it was so beautiful. But so have you traveled to Europe?
I have not.
Really?
Like I said, I said we had an exchange student from Germany that was last year in Hamburg. So it's definitely on our radar. Hopefully in the next couple of years, if not sooner, to travel to Hamburg and check out Germany. His family actually came back after he went back. He came back a month later with his family last summer, and they toured America for 14 days. And his mom was like, "Oh, no, I see why Mo loved America so much. This is great." It's crazy to see how similar things are across the world and from the middle of Europe, but how different they are too.
It is, and that's like my wife and I 2 summers ago. We went through Germany and then to Italy, southern Italy, and everything. But one thing, everybody knew English, which was amazing. Yeah. But we were in Frankfurt, and Munich, and then Naples and Atkinson and all over there. Yeah. But everybody, it's just like, and I found on this podcast, people are people, in general, and it's awesome. But everybody wants to count. Everybody wants to make a difference, I believe. And it's the best education because those Italians, it was hard to come home. Those guys, they are chill. They just at 5 o'clock, 5:30, they all shut their businesses down and they have to be out with their family. They like wine. Oh my gosh. And they like to torment you with, especially down in southern Italy. I don't know about the rest with accordion music. Wherever we went, they wanted a €2 coin to get away from. They were good, and we also found out take the trains. Don't take. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we had to laugh. My older boy said, "Well, we'll just go to Germany and be an exchange student in Germany."
Yeah, there you go.
He's like, "You can't because you don't know German," and he said, "And everybody learns English."
Yep, they do. And actually, Cheryl, my wife, and I are invited to Portugal. Hopefully, maybe get this spring. And it's a family that had moved from Canada to Lisbon. Jack is training to be on a soccer team because that's his passion.
Nice.
And like he said, he's already got it all laid out for us, everything, which is awesome. But he's like, nah, he said Portuguese is really tough, but there's enough people that speak English. Yeah. But it is the best education. And I was already, that's the thing, I switched my money over to Euro. Everybody took credit cards. Yeah. It's just because we took the taxes when that was a mistake. Don't do that. But the guy had it in his trunk. He's like, I can swipe your card. It's like, okay.
Yeah, Mo said that the school in America was way easier than
I could see that. Yeah, but no. And actually, I kind of like the pizza in Germany better than I liked it in Italy. But I like the German beer. It had the big pretzel and all that good stuff. Yeah. But yeah, being on the Mediterranean. I mean, it's so much education that so many people, like I said, Central Nebraska, were sheltered here. I guess that's maybe good.
Yeah, it's definitely good. And I love it here. People always say, how did you end up in Nebraska coming from Colorado? And I say this, but yeah, I definitely love the lifestyle here.
It is.
A lot better. I just like to see that.
People knock Nebraska a lot. In fact, when I was coming in this morning on the radio, they had a survey, least stressed state. And then Nebraska was number 1.
Yeah.
And it's like, but everybody's like, you're from Nebraska. What's in Nebraska? They always think, the corn and the cattle, and it's like, then it's flat. And it's like, well, you probably went on Interstate 80. It's not all flat.
Yeah.
Then I tell them we have the biggest sand dunes in the Western Hemisphere. I said it's covered with grass, but it's amazing up there. So that's one reason, like travel, because you don't know that stuff until you actually get there.
Yeah,
so,
that's how it is in Colorado. People drive through Colorado and they get to the mountains. It's a whole new world.
So you said you ski. Where do you ski usually, or do you have a place you like there?
Keystone or Breckenridge, because my brothers-in-laws have a condo up there. So usually we'll go up there and they'll meet us, or it's kind of the closest, and
Perfect.
not paying the Vail or
Yeah.
asking prices.
Oh yeah. Colorado's expensive anyway anymore. It's
Yeah.
amazing how much
Yep.
it costs out there. Because my in-laws used to have a place in Winter Park in that area.
Yeah.
So, and so do you snowboard?
No, just ski. I've never ever tried snowboarding in my life.
Okay.
My 13-year-old son does, and my youngest brother, he actually skied. He snowboard a lot. I think this is his first year. He gave up his season pass, though. It
Okay.
kind of priced him out, I think, and now he's a banker. He doesn't have as much time, I guess.
Yeah. I see they put what I saw the other day where the parasailing was snowboard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I thought, well, that might keep me from falling down. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, it's all good. That's for sure. So Matt, anything else before we end the podcast? Anything else you'd like to share with the audience about your store, your story?
No, just, the support we've gotten so far has been great. And yeah, if you ever find yourself wherever you're at, driving through, like you said, down I-80, it's about 15 miles south of the interstate, but definitely kind of a destination that we've tried to create.
So worth it.
And coming through Middle America, coming through Hastings, coming through Nebraska, stopping Hastings, and check us out.
Yeah, come have some ice cream. I mean, have some Dole Whip. I mean, that is, you don't find that everywhere. That's for sure. That is one of my favorites too. So, well, Matt, thank you for joining us on the Dreamcatcher podcast.
Yeah.
And maybe have a follow-up sometime down the line.
Sounds good.
So, sounds great. So on that, we'll end this podcast, and have a great day, and we'll be talking to you soon.
All right. Thanks. Goodbye.